Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I did a poll on Instagram whether y'all wanted to hear a story time or see a challenge. So last minute I decided I'm gonna do both anyways. So here's a little story time for you, and then I should be doing the challenge either Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm for sure it's gonna be this week. So y'all ready for the story time? But before I get into that, I would really like y'all's help. My aunt has MS, and if you don't know what MS is, I'll have the link below about what MS is and what kind of disease it is. And she's having this little fundraiser. We usually have walks every year, but we're changing it up a little bit. And I will have the link if you want to donate, and I would appreciate if you donate. And yeah, let's get into the story time. So, and it would happen in middle school, obviously. I was a 7th grader, and like I said in most of my other videos, I was very shy. I let people walk all over me. I did not really say anything to anybody if like I saw something. Like, I was that type of person, like I was very shy, you know. It was in the morning, and at my middle school we had this thing, it's so stupid. We had this thing where 6th graders go in one gym. So in the morning, if you come from the bus, or a parent drops you off, or someone drops you off, you have to go straight to where your grade is. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade sorry, 6th graders were in one gym, 7th graders were in another gym, and 8th graders had the cafeteria, the commons. Or yeah, they call it the commons, whatever. And so I was a 7th grader, and I remember walking with my cousin, and my cousin was a 6th grader. She's an age younger than me. And we were walking, and we were talking about something. And during this time, I was in a lot of drama, and I was in a lot of boy drama, but I was still shy, you know. I still was to myself. And I remember me and my cousin were walking, and we were walking towards the gyms. So there's gyms like next to each other, and then there's like a long hallway, and then if you keep going, there's like the cafeteria, and then if you keep going, there's all the classes rooms and stuff like that. And so we were walking towards the gyms, and we just turned around like we're not ready to go in there, so we walked the other way. And this boy, we'll name him Kevin. He was one of those he was one of those bad kids. You know, he did drugs. He was always in drama. He always hanged around the wrong crowd, you know. He would always skip. Like, he was one of those kids. And of course, I got myself involved with one of those kids. And me and him dated, but I don't remember how it ended exactly. But yeah, we dated. And I was walking with my cousin. My cousin knows him because he was in 6th grade and I was in 7th grade. I don't know why I dated younger guys. I don't know. So we turned around, and me and my cousin were going towards the cafeteria. And she was closest to the wall, and I was on the other side where kids were just passing. And he came by, he walked by me with his bunch of friends, and he said something to me. So of course, like, I say something back. And my parents always taught me to always stand up for myself and always, you know, fight for myself if something ever comes up. So I say something back, and knowing like he probably didn't even hear me, he probably is not gonna do anything, this boy came back and hit me with the spiral notebooks, the ones with the metal thing, a journal basically. And he hit me like in my face and my nose, like right here. And I was pissed. that's when I reacted real quick, and I turned around, and I guess he didn't think I was gonna hit him, but I hit him. Like, don't hit me. Don't hit me. So I hit him. And this was in the middle of, like, it was in the long hallway, and we were right in front of the cafeteria. And I hit him back, of course, like, duh. And we start hitting each other. And at the time, I was in kickboxing. My parents put me in kickboxing, and they felt like I just needed to work up my confidence because I was a very shy person. And I literally kind of blacked out during that time when me and him were just getting into it. But the last thing I remember was I literally kicked him in his little area. I okay, this is probably something that most people wouldn't do, but once I kicked him and he was like holding it down there and he was like, ugh, I walked away. Like, I literally walked away. Like, nothing happened. I walked away, like, bye, like, don't mess with me. And so during that time, I was always very honest, you know, like, I had that guilty conscience in me, and I felt like, oh my gosh, like, I know some kids saw what happened, and I felt like teachers and APs, like, during, like, in the mornings, APs and teachers are there, like, watching the kids, and no one saw us, like, no AP, no teacher saw us, and it was kind of weird, like, really? And so we get dismissed to go to class, and I went into class, and I just felt so bad. Like, not bad that I hit him, but bad, like, I feel like someone's gonna snitch and I'm gonna get in trouble bad. And so the first thing I did, so I was in class, I texted my mom. I really did text my mom, and I told her I got in a fight. And she was very calm, surprisingly. She did not say anything bad. She was just like, what happened? And I told her exactly what happened, and I told her I'm going to turn myself in. Like, I felt like I didn't want to get in trouble. So I went to my teacher and I said, hey, can I go to the AP's office? Is an emergency. And she said, okay. So she gave me a pass, and I went to the AP's office. And while I was walking up there, I just felt like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? So in middle school, when something happens or you want to report something, they have this sheet of paper, and you write your first and last name, what grade you're in, and then they give you space to write exactly what happened, where, like, they want every freaking detail. So I go in, and the AP's assistant was like, why are you in here? And I was like, I would like to report something. And so I write the report, and I was always in the office due to, like, all the drama, so the APs knew me, the counselors knew me. And so I finished writing my statement, and I give it to her, and she tells me to wait. And I was waiting for my AP, and my AP calls me in, and he's reading my statement, and he was surprised that I was turning myself in. Like, I felt that guilty conscience. I felt like I was like, I can't do it. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all probably laughing at me like, why would you turn yourself in? But I don't know what. I was just feeling like, this is so bad. This is so wrong, you know? And so he was like, okay, we're going to look at the cameras. And I told him exactly where we were. And it took him a few minutes. And so they looked at the cameras, and he came back, and he told me we barely got anything. Like, I was like, out of all the things, like, they barely got it. They probably got me and him. And there's a lot of cameras at my middle school, but there was that one place there was, like, they can't see us. I was like, oh my God. So they called in Kevin, and Kevin gave his opinion or whatever, and my AP told me, here's what we're gonna do. Since you came in and confessed what you did, I'm just gonna give you lunch detention. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I'm getting is lunch detention, because I never had lunch detention or a DMC. And I was like, okay. And ever since then, he like knew that I was always honest with him, and that was probably one of the most stupidest things I've ever done in my life. But I mean, lunch detention is not that bad at the same time too, because it's basically eating by yourself and not talking to nobody and all that stuff. But that was the time I got in a fight with a boy. So that was one out of like 2 fights I got into. So I'm Gucci, like, not a fighter. I'm really not a fighter. If you keep pushing me out. Well, I hope you like this story time. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave all the information below. And if you have any comments, concerns, and if you want to DM me personal, I'll leave my Instagram, my Snapchat, and my business email. So I'll see you later, guys.